Welcome back, everyone, to the next chapter in my Higurashi When They Cry playthrough. So we're going to be diving into Chapter 5, and yeah, I'm sure it's going to be fun, and nothing bad's going to happen at all, ever, and it's going to be great.
Ohayo, Keiichi.
Keiichi's mom has got it going on.
ゆうべは何時に寝たの?
For the amount of times I've heard that question. I did not sleep well last night at all. Same. My mother could tell from a single glance. I had the worst dreams. Nightmares, very ominous dreams, one after the other, again and again. Oh, those are worse nights, man. I woke up after each one, but could never even remember a fraction of what they had been about. But it was like those dreams were predicting something unpleasant. And I woke up in a terrible mood. Hey now, every day has been calm and fun before today, right? Those days should continue on unchanging. And yet, anxiety was the only emotion growing within me. Bro, same! Why was that? Nightmares reflect your own anxiety. They show an uneasy mind that which you wouldn't admit to normally. Those are the craziest dreams. Like when you have nightmares about stuff you're anxious about. Those are the worst. Yesterday, I remembered the ominous conversations about Satoshi I had with Shion, Mion, and Rena. Yeah, those were some intense talks, man. Right. My mind felt like it was in a black fog because we had talked about that. If I'd lived every day without causing a fuss, my reward would be ever more peaceful days. I understood that, so why did I cause such discord? But now that I thought about it calmly, a simple verbal slip on my part couldn't possibly change the world. Yeah. As long as I'm sorry for doing it and never talk about it again, there's nothing that anyone can blame me for, right? Besides, how would my fate possibly change just because I talked about that? Listen, nothing was going to change. Yeah, nothing would change. Nothing would change, nothing would change. Keep saying it over and over and it's bound to be true. Totally accurate.
気持ち悪い笑い。寝ぼけてるなら顔を洗ってらっしゃい。
Dude, I love Keiichi's parents so much. I'd finally cheered up enough to smile, and Mom slapped me right back down, and I was irritated again. Bro needs some coffee. There wasn't much time left before I had to meet up with Rena. I frantically started to get ready to go to school.
行ってらっしゃい。車に気をつけるのよ。
気をつけるほど車もいないよ。
Yeah, bro, there's like 2 cars in the entire town. I dashed out the front door. The morning air was far more refreshing than the water on my face. That's right, Keiichi Maibara. If you're sorry enough about it and reflect upon your mistakes, that's enough. Now let's pull yourself together and get to school. And return to fun, enjoyable days. Where everyone laughs, plays, and just has a good time. That sounds good. I'll be nice to Satako as an apology, too. Yeah. Wasn't I supposed to be her Nini until Satoshi got back? Yeah, dude, you gotta be your big brother. Rena, too, looked nothing like she had yesterday when she had said that weird stuff. Yeah, yeah, that was a bit crazy, bro. If I could only forget, then I could still act like nothing had happened. Just act like nothing happened. So I called out to her with all the energy I could muster.
Oh, ohayo, Rena. 相変わらず早いな.
See, everything's fine. Nothing bad's happening. Nothing bad's gonna happen. We're good.
Ohayo.
Everything's okay. See, everything's fine. There was little time before the same old morning homeroom began. But Satako and Rika-chan were unusually absent. Maybe they went to play somewhere. However, looking over and seeing none of their things, so it looked like they really hadn't come to school. Rena seemed to be enjoying herself thinking about what their excuse for being late would be. Mion said something nonsensical as well, imagining how funny the reason they were late must have been. I had only come to school to see their energetic faces, since I figured it would get rid of these feelings I have. But the load on my chest remained where it was. It wasn't very pleasant at all.
おはようございます。皆さん、委員長、号令。
Good morning, Curry Lady.
起立。
Our teacher finally arrived. Then finally I heard the pitter-patter of footsteps running down the hall. Why she look sad, man? Come on. I'm not liking this, bro. Clatter. Rika-chan was the first to run through the open door. And then Satako. Didn't come. Bro, where is she?
遅刻ですよ、フルデさん。北条さんはどうしましたか?
You're late. It was unusual for Rika-chan to be late, but equally unusual for Satako, a ball of energy, to be absent at all. Everyone's eyes were wide at the series of strange events.
Satako はちょっと遅れるかもしれないのです。
熱でも出ちゃいましたか?
Teacher walked over to Rika-chan and they started talking in hushed tones.
リカちゃんが遅刻でサトコが欠席なんて珍しいこともあるもんだよ。
そうだね。だけどさとこちゃんどうしたんだろう。風邪かな。
Why now when I most wanted to see Satsuko's energetic face? The unease that had been building since last night tightened within my chest.
ケイちゃんは心配しすぎ。年頃の女の子にはね、どうしても体の都合で具合が悪くなっちゃう時があるの。
That doesn't seem like a true statement, but alright, whatever. I'm not gonna argue with that. I don't know
それ
any
男
better.
の子の前で言うことじゃないよ。
Mion laughed indecently. Normally I would laugh along with her, but right now I just didn't feel like it. Homeroom ended and we went to talk to Rika-chan in the short time we had before first period started.
ようリカちゃん、遅刻して怒られてかわいそうかわいそうだな。今日は俺がなでなでしてあげよ
I was very aware of my gloom this morning, so I strove to keep my tone cheerful. I patted Rika-chan's head the same way she always did, but she didn't cheer up at all. Yeah, usually that works like
う。サト
perfectly.
コはどうしたんだ？風邪か？
For instance, she got a fever from playing around too much yesterday. If that had been a response, I would have accepted it in a flash. But the atmosphere around Rika-chan felt somewhat heavy. It was a little weird and actually made my unease worse.
ほらほらほら、男の子には話せない事情ってのもあるんだから。ケイちゃんはお席へ戻って戻って。
Mion, acting just like a club president, pulled me back to my chair. Rika-chan's gaze immediately fell back to her desk, and she hung her head gloomily. Rika-chan said something odd, that Satsuko might be a little bit late. They were living together, weren't they? Then she would have known for sure. She wouldn't have said might. I didn't understand why she was absent, and that made me all the more anxious. Damn it, what's going on today? It's like we started off on the wrong foot and it wasn't going to get any better. Those are worse days.
どうしたのかな、ケイチくん。今日はなんだか朝から元気ないよ。
Rena noticed how I looked and whispered to me while the teacher wasn't looking.
そんなに俺元気ないか？
うん。見てるレナまで元気がなくなるくらいに。
Oof. I thought of jokingly saying that don't look at me, but I didn't even feel like doing that. That would have been great, man.
レナに話せること？どんな悩みかわからないけど、聞いて力になれることなら聞くよ。
I won't tease you. Rena said this, looking me straight in the eye.
昨日まで何も変なことなんか起きなくて楽しかったんだ。
Huh? Rena's eyes widened for a moment, not understanding what I meant, but she remained silent and listened.
穏やかで楽しくて毎日が賑やかで、そんな毎日が繰り返されることに何の不安もなかった。
うん、そうだね。毎日楽しいよ。きっと今日も楽しくなる。
絶対にそうなるって自信が持てるか？
Not too sure about that, man. I'm not getting good vibes out of this day.
うん。
Rena, feeling perplexed, couldn't think of something to say. I didn't blame her. What I was trying to say seemed a little confusing even to me.
思えばここ最近不安だったんだ。毎日が楽しいからこそある日ふっと電球が切れるみたいに真っ暗になってしまうんじゃないかって。
うん。その気持ち、ちょっぴりレナもわかるよ。
I think we've all felt that way at one point or another. Rena nodded gently.
私たちはいいことばかりは続かないってずっと教えられてきたから、楽しいことの裏側を時々恐れるよね。それってちょっぴり悲しいことだけど、でもそのおかげで私たちは楽しい毎日がずっと続くように努力することを覚えたんだよ。
I absolutely love the conversations that they just have. Like, this is just such a good way to live. Like, yeah, bad stuff could happen, but you just gotta make sure that you enjoy life and just have fun, like, as much as you can.
そうだな。
だからケイチくんが楽しい日々がいつまでも続かないかもしれないって思うのは、例えば明日突然火山が大爆発して私たちが全員死んじゃうとする。
Bit extreme, but yeah, makes sense.
おいおい、物騒な話だな。
例えばその大災害をケイチくんだけが生き残ったとしたら、 どう感じる？
God, horrible.
どうって。
I imagine myself being the sole survivor in the ruins of Hinamizawa. Rubble and the bodies of friends lying in heaps at my feet. It was such an abhorrent sight. Was it sadder than all my friends had died? Or was it sadder that I couldn't have died with them? I didn't know which, but I'd probably cry a lot.
胸が張り裂けるだろうな。まず、泣くと思う。
Yeah, that's the natural response.
そしてこう思う
100%.
んじゃないかな。こうなることが運命だったなら、昨日までの日をもっともっと楽しく、悔いなく過ごせばよかったって。
True. I didn't want to consider such a horrible event to be my destiny. But
思うだろうな。
楽しい毎日がいつか終わるものなら、だったら、たとえ明日そうなっても悔いがないように、精一杯楽しく生きるのが正解じゃないのかな。
this is actually something I've been trying to get better at too. So I'm loving this conversation right now because I've been trying to get a lot better just like enjoying life.
そう
Because you
だな。
need to.
それに気づくのは、多くの人たちは日々の幸せに飽食してるよ。今日と同じ明日が訪れると信じきってるから。今日してやれる優しさを明日に送ってしまう。
It's true. You gotta just be nice every day, man. Rena was usually cheerful and silly, but right now she wasn't like that at all. She was taking my trouble seriously. It was a little
で
reassuring.
も、圭一くんはそれに気づけた。それはとても素敵なことだと思う。だからその不安な気持ち、大切にしてもいいと思うの。
この不安を大切に。
そう。明日には大災害でみんな死んじゃうかもしれない。だから今日、みんなにいっぱい優しくしよう。
It's too real right now, man.
本当に週末が訪れた時、後悔しないために。
Yeah, man. Gotta spend time and just be kind to your loved ones and everything, man. Just you never know. Life
レ
is
ナは
short.
実践してるのか？明日みんなが死んじゃっても後悔しないようにさ。
It was such a hyperbolic conversation. But Rena just gave me a nonchalant nod of her head.
レナは楽しい毎日がたった一日を境に終わってしまうことを知ってるから、今日が楽しくても明日も楽しい保証なんかないって生きてるよ、精一杯。
It seemed like Rena perfectly understood all the anxiety I couldn't put into words. And on top of that, like a reliable teacher, she showed me what to do. Ooh. Hey, Keiichi my bar, there's no need to cry
ゆう
now.
べ、聡子の夢を見た気がするんだ。
Rena again showing that she is literally just the pinnacle of how a person should be.
どんな夢だったかは思い出せないけど、朝からずっと不安で。
And also just extremely smart.
さとこちゃんの元気な顔を見れたら安心するつもりだった。
Well, that's spot
か
on.
な。
She was right on the money. If everyone had been here with smiles on their faces this morning, then the murk in my heart would have definitely been blown to smithereens.
じゃあ、さとこちゃんが来たら優しくしてあげることだね。いつもの悪ふざけでも一向に構わない。楽しく過ごすことができるなら。
そうだな。
So that even if these fun days came to an end, I'd have no regrets. I couldn't tell if what Rena told me had been comforting or just made me more anxious. But it was enough to make me think that if I saw Satako again, I'd be honest with her. Lunchtime arrived, with everyone pushing their desks together like always. Satako wasn't here. Despite that, we had bento boxes for 5 lined up on our desks. I was just gonna say, I think Rika brought one. So yeah, Rika-chan had made a bento for Satako too.
さとこ、お昼までには来るはずだったの？
Rika-chan was clearly acting strangely. We were talking to her, but it felt like she was too far away to hear us. I'd never seen Rika-chan so downcast. So the rest of us started feeling down too. Hey, Rena. I understood what she had said before pretty well. When we were together, we were supposed to have lots of fun so we wouldn't have any regrets if the world ended tomorrow. And yet, while I just resolved myself to do it, now we can't all be together. What the hell? Because it was just so sudden, wasn't it? I mean, yesterday was fun, so who could believe it would all end today? No volcanoes had erupted, and no earthquakes or fires had happened either. The cicadas were making the same noises they did yesterday, and the sun remained bright in the sky. It was the same normal day as always. So then why... As I pondered, Rena's chopsticks reached in front of my face and stole the fried chicken out of my bento. Whoa, dick move.
みんなが取らないからレナがもらうね。おいしい。
Ren over here trying to just lighten the mood. Rena tossed the entire piece into her mouth and began munching on it, her expression one of bliss. Fried chicken sounds good
お
right
じ
now.
さんとしたことがレナに先生を許すとはね。よっしゃおじさんはこのプチハンバーグをもらうよ。
みえ、僕のおかずがなくなってしまうのです。
Rika-chan, also behind the curve, smiled again and went for someone else's bento. As I sat there, dazed at how quickly everyone had changed, Rena sent a wink over to me. Yeah, she knew what she was doing. Come on, Keiichi-kun. Live life to the fullest. That way if a volcano erupts tomorrow, it'll be okay. Good way. That's a good rule to live by, man. That's a great rule to live by.
冗談じゃねえ。最後の弁当が梅干しとご飯だけになってたまるか。
God. Oh, dried plums.
俺は
Ugh.
ミートボールをいただくぞ。
Dried plums sound horrible. I stuffed the meat into my mouth and constructed a clumsy smile. I played along as if trying to fool myself. But as I did, it rapidly became less and less of an act. Satako still wasn't here, but at some point we had regained our lively lunchtime. We had fun, we smiled, and we fooled around. Thanks everyone. This was definitely the best thing to do. This way, when Satako suddenly dropped by, we would welcome her with our best smiles. The more I smiled, the more I felt the anxiety from this morning clearing away.
笑う角に福来たるってことわざあったよな。
あるね。それが事実ならおじさんは四六時中笑い転げてるよ。
レナは本当だと思うな。毎日笑ってれば毎日が楽しいよ。レナがいいことを言いますです。
じゃあ試してみるか。
Everyone took a deep breath, then brought their faces together, locking shoulders. And then... Sounds so weird. But I love it. Everyone laughed uproariously from their stomachs, trying to laugh out all of the bad stuff accumulating in them. By the time our bento boxes were empty, everyone was right as rain. Having heard our friendly banter, Tomita-kun and Nukamura-kun walked up and timidly spoke to us.
前原さん、楽しくお話し中。ちょっとお力をお借りしたくて。
They grinned dryly and scratched their heads.
なんだよ一体。
What are these two up
テ
to?
ストの対策法は以前教えただろ。
Yo, but like, is that possible though? Like, asking for a friend?
ちなみに千恵先生が授業中と含み笑いを教科書で隠した時が
Sure.
次
I
のテ
picture
スト
them
範囲だ。
just sitting there with a magazine with an eraser trying to get rid of it. My god.
そうなんですか？
It's so random. That's not what we're here for, said Tomita-kun, elbowing Okamura-kun.
実はですね、ボールが2階の雨どいに引っかかっちゃったんですよ。前原さんなら身長高いからなんとかなるんじゃないかと思って。
That's actually a pretty
Oh.
basic request.
先輩に物を頼むからには何か見返りがあるんだろうな。俺は高いぜ。簡単に買収できると思うなよ。
Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun conversed for a short time, then gave their reply.
では、前原さんには授業中に居眠りができる権利を与えましょう。
That sounds
それ
fantastic.
でどうです？
なんだそりゃ。
Honestly, just a nap in general just sounds
授
great.
業中に寝るのは俺の勝手だろ。なんでお前らに権利をもらわなくちゃならんのだ。
そんなことないですよ。今度は前原さんが居眠りしたら、全部先生に言いつけることにしますから。
The blackmail is real. They got him.
なるほど、うまいうまい。
こいつらとんでもない交渉の仕方覚えやがって。
That's a Mion maneuver. That's a good.
すみません。ちょっとした冗談っす。
Oh man, stick to it.
ほらほらゲイちゃん、おとなしく後輩たちの脅迫に屈したら
That laugh. And now Mion was getting on my nerves. Suddenly it came to me, and I took Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun's hands.
わかった。俺の降参だ。ボールを取ってやるから居眠りの権利を俺にくれ。
All the rights to nap time.
ええ。
They were not
Miro,
expecting that.
俺はちゃんと権利をもらったぞ。 でもお前はもらってないよな。富田君、岡村君、ミオンが居眠りしたらすぐにチクれ。いいな。
Rena and Rika-chan began to cackle at Keiichi-kun's victory. I wasn't sure how the ball managed to get stuck up there, but it was planted firmly in the school building's second floor gutter.
その棒を貸せ。俺なら多分届く。よいしょっと。
I took a bamboo pole and poked the ball with it. Damn, it's hard. Come on.
あ、取れた。
Nailed
取
it.
れましたよ、前原さん。どうもありがとうございました。
The ball rolled down the gutter and fell down behind the school building. My underclassmen ran over in that direction, leaving me by myself. Mission complete, I guess. Sheesh. There was still a lot of time left until lunch break was over. Guess I should go back to the classroom. I'd absorb myself in a silly conversation with everyone and wait for afternoon classes. Just when I thought that and turned towards the entrance, someone suddenly called out to me. Oops. Oh. Alright, bro. I don't like it when you show up. When you show up, bad stuff happens. It was a middle-aged man I didn't know. Or maybe I'd passed by him a few times and seen his face, but I didn't know him. When his half-smile deepened, something within me shuddered with fear. There was no basis for that. No reason. But I shuddered. I was somewhat confused about those emotions, not quite understanding them myself. There's one thing I could say, though. Nobody but teachers and students should be at school. This person shouldn't have been here. I was kind of being a creep. Felt less of a tremble and more of a sense of dread, like a caterpillar brilliantly covered in garish, billish greens were crawling across my forehead. A feeling of disgust that neither itchy nor gross could be described as the frizzly, dreadful hair rubbed against my brow. I didn't even want to see his face. I wanted to jump backwards and run away. An unpleasant feeling for which I didn't even know the cause. The other side of myself has nothing but questions. Hey, what are you doing? What are you disgusted by? This is the first time you've met him. It's rude to hate someone for no reason. No answers were coming. I held my silence, waiting, a damp sweat running down my forehead. When he saw that, Ooishi thought maybe he was being intimidating and gave me a relaxed smile. No, bro. Only suspicious people would say that.
私、沖宮警察署から参りました。あれ、手帳どこかな。
Shouldn't you have like a badge?
あれ参ったな。ありゃ
What is he doing? He fished through various pockets, then finally found his police ID and showed it to me, grinning dryly. He may have been trying to use those clumsy seeming actions to ease my anxiety, but I could definitely say it didn't work. Why was I this nervous? There was a reason, of course. If I wanted today to be the same as before, then today didn't need someone who hadn't been here back then. Logic. The fact that a man who wasn't here yesterday showed up today meant that today would be a different day than those before it. That would mark the end of the fun and happy days. I gulped and erased the ominous conclusion from my mind. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. It's just an old guy who looks kind of perverted and came from the police department. Don't go deciding that the fun times are over. He just came here because of his job. Yeah, just for his job. If he's working, then he would normally go to a teacher's lounge, right? The fact that he spoke to me, yes, must have been to ask where it was.
職員室をお探しですか。なら、あそこの昇降口から入って。
I didn't want to look at this man for another second, so I started pushing things along. Ooishi, however, didn't seem to have any interest in the teacher's lounge.
いえ。職員室にはそんなに用事はないんです。それより、お友達を呼んでもらいたいんですが、お願いできますかね。
Who are you looking for, bro?
お友達？誰です？
女の子です。北条聡子さんを呼んできてもらえませんか。
Why? My consciousness grew faint, like I was about to pass out. Yes, my anxiety was realized. The dreadful, disgusting caterpillar was looking at me, about to crawl into my ear. Ugh, that's such a good description of it. Oh man, its frizzly, dreadful hair was touching my ear cavity. That's how bad it felt.
警察が聡子に何の用ですか？
いえ。 大した用事じゃないんです。兄さん、聞きたいことがありまして、ご協力をいただければ嬉しいんですがね。
I don't know, man. 2 or 3 things to ask sounds like a lot. Why? Why, of all people, was it Satako? Why would a police officer come here in the middle of the day for something that wasn't important? This man was strange. I could smell it. And it smelled bad. Just a whiff of it made me want to grimace. I knew that this man couldn't possibly be here to deliver her lost wallet or anything. I couldn't imagine what he needed from Satako, but it had to be something unpleasant. My throat stung with burning pain. Burned like a parched, creviced wasteland. The wasteland broke apart deep in my throat and brought out the words from deep in my mind.
あんたに用はあっても、サトコにはないと思います。
That's right, you tell
帰っ
him.
てくれませんか?
Lay down law, Keiji. Ooishi probably hadn't expected that reply. He stood there surprised for a few moments. I did as well. I hadn't thought words like that could ever come out of my mouth. Things might still work out. This guy may have shown up out of the blue, but if I drove him off, maybe I could make it so it never happened. If I could do that, then I could get back. The peace we had until yesterday. I could get it back.
これは手厳しいな。あなた、さとこさんのマネージャーさんですかな。アポイントメントがないと面会は叶いませんか。
話がしたいだけなら電話ですればいいじゃないですか。日中学校にまで押しかけてくるなんて明らかに異常です。
It's true. Breaking through a dam would have been the perfect analogy to use. Why didn't I like this man? This man shouldn't have been here. I need to make it so that this man wasn't here. Childish, selfish emotions bubbled up from the depths of my mind, and they each came out of my mouth just as it had been formed. Not liking the guy was my own problem. But to say things so bluntly to him, even I thought I was crazy.
ありゃ、いちいち正論な方ですね。こういう言い方をする人は苦手なんだよな。
Ooishi grinned and scratched at his sweaty throat. Ew. Even as he feigned stupidity, I could tell he was irritated. Hey, Kiichi Maibara, why am I looking for a fight with this old policeman here? It's not like he brought the gift of misfortune with him, all wrapped up in paper, right? Right. It wasn't like he had brought a package of misfortune with him and was asking me to sign here, please. Rationally speaking, I understood all that, so then why was I so... Finally, I outlasted Ooishi in our game of silence, and he gave a big sigh. Then he addressed a few of my female underclassmen running around nearby.
もしもし、君たち、ちょっといいですかな。北条聡子さんを呼んできてほしいんですがね。
My underclassmen tried to smile in reply, but they noticed the oddly stiff air atmosphere around me, and seemed hesitant to give a quick answer.
いませんか、北条聡子さんは。
北条さんは今日はお休みですけど。
休み。
His face remained smiling, but his tone was clearly one of ill humor. Such conspicuous spite caused my underclassmen, who had answered honestly, to cringe in fear.
そうですか。
Bro, stop being a creep.
いやはや。これはついてないです。
He was smiling broadly, but the way he laughed didn't make me feel better at all. When he noticed that his laughter wasn't getting anyone else to laugh with him, he immediately stopped.
で、君たち、ここにいるお兄さんは、
He grabbed the girls by the shoulders so they wouldn't run away and crouched down to address them at eye level. Bro, stop being a creep with these kids, man. That's messed up. The girls flinched away from the sharp, piercing light in his eyes. And in exchange for their release, they didn't resist and told him my name.
ほう、前原圭一さんですか。
He said my full name. That was all he said, and yet I couldn't help but shudder. It was like he had grabbed me by the collar just with those words.
あなた、ひょっとして例の前原屋敷の御曹司。
Nah, he's a different Maibara that just got here. Dork.
お父さん、高名な芸術家さんなんですってね。年に2回ほど東京の大展覧会に出展されてるそうじゃないですか。
You know a bit too much, my
ど
dude.
んな立派な絵を描かれるかは存じませんがね。
It's
お
probably
母
porn.
さんも知的そうな方じゃないですか。高学歴って聞きましたよ。 どこぞの女子大を出られてるそうじゃないですか。
Yeah, he knows way
あ
too
の
much,
年の
man.
女性で女子大でなんてすごいですよ。ひょっとしてお母さん、両家のお嬢さんなんじゃないですか。
What are you
な
getting at, my
ん
dude?
て噂が立ってるせいか。冷たい人だなんて噂が立てられてるなんてご存知で。町内会の会合、最初の1回以外は出てないでしょう。そういうのっていけないんですよ
I
ね。
hate the like anxious, creepy music that
こういう
plays.
土地ではご近所付き合いをないがしろになんかできませんよ。You
You know way too much, my dude. You gotta like chill. A sense of eeriness slithered up my spine. That was my first experience of true terror. I couldn't believe it felt this terrible for someone you've just met to know everything about you already. Ooishi clamped onto my shoulders and brought his eyes close to peer into mine.
こういう土地ではね、敵は作らない方が絶対にいいですよ。
Bro, you're being a bit creepy, my dude.
さもないと。
Ow. Ooishi dug in my shoulders with inhuman strength. Yeah.
思わぬところで不利益を受けるかもしれ
Don't
ま
like
せ
it.
ん。因果応報という言葉もありますよ。
Yeah, karma's gonna be you like trip and fall on your way to a guard.
風が吹けば
Sure, sure.
おケアが儲かるの正反対です。妙なところで買った恨みが信じられないところで帰ってくることがあるかもしれません。そうなったら嫌でしょ。
Man, Ooishi was like always weird in the other parts, but he's just super creepy and
誰
violent
だっ
this
て
time around.
恨みなんか買いたく
Not a
ないん
fan.
です。敵を作らないに越したことなんかない。ん？どうしました？肩がだいぶ凝ってますね。ちょっと揉んであげましょうか。
I mean, oh, okay, yeah, that'd be nice.
気持ちいいでしょ。
You're such a weirdo, man. Like, where's the principal? The principal would probably kick his ass. Ow, ow, ow. This man wasn't just strong. It was like he knew exactly where to press to make me feel pain. Only 4 or 5 fingers were on my shoulder, and yet the pain made me want to bend over backwards. Irk. A few of the girls from my class were pretty shaken up, but didn't seem to want to help me. They weren't sure if they should go call the teacher. As for me, I couldn't take the time to wait until teacher got here. It hurts. Oh,
も
poor
う
guy.
それくらいになさってくださ
Yo,
い。
that's right. Irie coming in. Let's go.
痛がってますよ。
え？
Lay down the law. That's right. Look at him. Badass. Behind Ooishi stands someone. To my disbelief, it was Coach.
おや、これは入江先生じゃありませんか。ご無沙汰しておりますね。
Discomforted by Coach's sudden appearance, Ooishi laughed scornfully. The vice on my shoulders, however, remained as strong as ever.
挨拶はいいです。それよりも、前原くんを離してあげてください。
Ooishi smiled daringly and glared straight at Coach. He didn't release me in the meantime, of course.
先生のところにも後でお伺いしようと思っていたんですよ。いつ
Why?
もお忙しいとかで、ろくろくお話ができませんからね。
ええ、お望みとあれば、いくらでもお話を伺いますよ。でもその前に、令状をお持ちになってください。
There you go.
職務質問と任意同行は拒否できますからね。
Coach didn't display a shred of the weird behavior he'd shown at the baseball game and barbecue. He stared steadily at Ooishi and fought so that he would release me. His chances were terribly bad, of course. Compared to the relaxed Ooishi, Coach seemed like he was being defeated mentally. It made sense. Coach had a somewhat narrow stature, but Ooishi's body was packed with muscles. It wasn't even a contest. But Coach was fighting for me without taking a step back. Beads of sweat formed on his face, and though he paled, he was fighting for my sake. Bro, why? I don't like it, man. Suddenly, Ooishi laughed and let go of my shoulders. My body exhausted, I fell right onto my backside.
前原くん、大丈夫ですか？くそ。いってってってって。
I rubbed my shoulders where Ooishi had latched onto them. The pain from falling over went away quickly, but this pain was lingering.
大丈夫ですか、前原くん。
Yeah, he was definitely grabbing the, like, pressure points.
ひどいことを。
くそ。あいて、
ちょっと肩を揉んだだけじゃないですか。
That's the problem, bro. You don't go to a school and just give a random kid a massage. Bro. Super creepy.
前原さんも少し大げさすぎですよ。男の子はもう少し我慢強くなくっちゃ。
I hate him so much. I wanted to retort, but I couldn't think of anything witty.
肩は上がりますか、痛みますか。痛みが強いようならちゃんと診察をした方がいい。とにかく保健室へ。
Yeah, thankfully he got a doctor right there. Coach lent me his shoulder and walked beside me.
大げさですね。私に限って傷が残るような真似をするわけがないじゃないですか。
Doesn't have to be permanent, man. It still sucks. It's still an asshole move.
私、これでも現職の警察官なんですよ。
Yeah, you're not very good at your job.
さあ、どんなご用があったか存じませんが、もうご用がないならお帰りを。今日のことは今度所長さんに直接抗議しますから、そのつもりでいてください。
That's right, Irie laid down the law.
それは困りますね。
My man does not care at all. Oishi-san waved his hand sarcastically, pivoted around, and headed to the car parked by the school gates. And without turning back around, he got in and started the engine. Damn it. Who the hell was he? Damn
あい
it.
つは大石クランドという刑事です。
He's a jerk. Dude.
乱暴者でね、
Yeah, that's right. He's a
村
hooligan.
中に嫌われている男です。前原さんも用心した方がいい。
Kurado Ooishi. I don't know how to pronounce that first name. Just like I thought, my gut instinct wasn't wrong. He would be the one to bring unhappiness, misfortune, something that would ruin our peace. Shit, I won't accept it. All these fun days can't possibly end just because some guy like him showed up. There you go. Get that optimism. I won't accept it. Coach seemed to be familiar with the school, so he brought me to the nurse's office without much trouble. The girls from my class came along as well, looking worried. Our teacher and the principal, having noticed the disturbance, came to see what was the matter.
前原くん、どうしたんですか？怪我でも。
前原さん、さっき校庭で変なおじさんに。
Coach gently interrupted the girls trying to explain.
いえ、ちょっと転んでひねったみたいです。
Why
大丈夫だとは思いますけど、念のためと思いましてね。
aren't you just
保
telling
健
them what
室を
happened, my
ちょっ
dude?
とお借りいたします。
入江先生、よろしくお願いしますぞ。
That's a bit sus. The principal gave him a deep bow. It looked like Coach was acquainted with the adults at school. He slid open the doors to the nurse's office, but there wasn't a nurse in there or anything. I'd figured. I'd never seen anyone but Chi-sensei and the principal working here. Coach didn't seem to mind the fact that there was no nurse and quickly made his way into the nurse's office. He instructed me to sit down and started washing his hands in the sink. Oh, I get it. He's the coach for the boys' baseball team. He was pretty used to treating wounds with first aid.
ちょっと患部を見せてもらえますか。まだ痛みます。
いえ、もう全然痛みません。本当に大丈夫です。
I rolled up my shirt and showed him my shoulder. No bruise, not even nail marks. And yet it hurt so much I thought my shoulders would be crushed. Even the pain had disappeared without a trace. It hurt so much, but not so much as a bruise remained.
それだけあいつが慣れている
Yeah,
というこ
it's
とですよ。
unfortunately. Used to it,
今度
huh?
会った時は挑発しないことです。あいつを怒らせて得をすることは何もありませんからね。自宅に制服警官を連れて押しかけてきたら、ご家族だっていい気持ちはしないでしょ。
それは確かに。
You can't argue with that.
しかし何があったんです？前原さんがあいつと喧嘩になるなんて。
あいつ、里子に用事があるとか言ってきて。
え？里子ちゃんにですか？
Coach's gaze lowered and his expression clouded a bit. Somehow that gesture seemed to be saying Ooishi was bound to come to Satako and did, and that it was no laughing matter. Coach fell silent in thought. Quietly, he took a compress out of the first aid kit and put it on me.
あの男はまだ里子ちゃんに付きまとうつもりなんでしょうか。本当に蛇みたいにしつこい男です。
Coach mumbled to
付
himself.
きまとう？ あの大石っていうやつ、たびたびサトコのところへ来てるんですか？
Coach didn't answer, but the lack of a denial served well enough. What on earth did a policeman, probably a detective or something, need from Satako? What mistake had led a detective to cling to the sweetly smiling Satako?
前原さんは
Was this about
そうか
this about her parents, or like, well, either her parents or her brother or her aunt?
引っ越してきたばかりでしたね。
So much bad stuff has happened to the poor kid.
ええ、そうですけど。
お社様のたたりとさとこちゃんの話は少しは聞いたことがありますか？
Ah, here we go. Talk about curses again. Well, I knew a few things about it, certainly.
サトコの両親がダム計画の賛成派で、転落事故で死んだのはタタリだって話ですか？
Coach smiled thinly and dryly. So you know, he said, dropping his gaze. If I recalled correctly, there was an accident on a viewing platform at the public park she'd gone to with her family, and her parents died. And then it was just big brother and little sister. And then she was with Rika-chan and,
ご両親が亡くなったさとこちゃんとお兄さんのさとしくんはおじ夫婦宅に身を寄せることになりました。
え、あ、そうなんですか。
their parents died in the accident and Satoshi ran away, leaving only Satako to start living with Rika-chan. I'd known that much, but this was the first time I heard they'd be brought to their uncle and aunt.
おじというのはさとこちゃんのお父さんの弟にあたる方なんですがね。残念なことに夫婦揃ってちょっと尊敬に値する方々ではありませんでした。
They sound amazing. Coach normally picked his words politely. So when he came out and said they didn't deserve respect, it really made me wonder what kind of people they were.
さとこちゃんの両親がダムに賛成していたとばっちりで、おじ夫婦も村内ではとても肩身の狭い思いをしていましたからね。
Yeah, that probably built a lot of
さとこ
resentment.
ちゃんたちを歓迎するはずもなかったんです。さとこちゃんたち兄弟にとってとても辛い生活だったと聞きを読んでいます。
Bit by bit, Coach told me about the numerous agonies the Hojo siblings had suffered in their uncle's house. As their guardians, their aunt and uncle sucked up everything belonging to their immediate family. Satako and Satoshi were crammed into a small room, and their lives were laden with things that were miserable both for their bodies and minds. In the first place, since apparently their aunt and uncle weren't on good terms, there was no end to their fighting. And as if in revenge for that, whenever they saw Satako or Satoshi's face, they would always find fault with them, scold them, yell at them, strike them, and take away meals as punishment. I hate them so much.
今思い出してもゾッとします。
Sucks,
今の
man.
元気なさとこちゃんしか知らないあなたには土毛色の顔をしてただ日陰でぼーっとしているだけの彼女など想像もつかないでしょう。
I couldn't imagine it and didn't want to. That was how I honestly felt. But at the very least, Satako wasn't like that anymore. She may have had a miserable life in the past, but it was different now. Something happened to change that life.
去年の綿流しのお祭りの夜にね、異常者にバットか何かで殴り殺されて、綿流しの祭りの夜には村の旧敵がたたりで死ぬと噂されてましたからね。この死も単なる殺人事件としてだけでなく、お社様のたたりではないかと村中でささやかれました。
A few days later, the deviant arrested for drug use confessed to further offenses and the incident was resolved. However, though it was resolved, no one knew whether the part about it being Oyashiro-sama's curse was true or not. I've read that so many times, I should know how to read it.
hinamizawaの人間ですからね。お社様のたたりを大層怖がり、逃げ出して雲隠れしてしまったそうです。聞いた話では、沖宮あたりの実婚の中の女性宅に転がり込んでるとか。
それで解放されたんですか、サトコたちは。
おばは死に、おじは逃げ出し、誰も兄弟をいじめる者はいなくなるはずだったんですが、まるでその後を継ぐようにあの男が執拗に現れるようになったんです。
That's messed up.
あの男？
Then Coach lowered his voice just a bit as if being aware of his
大
surroundings.
石です。
大石、さっきの男。
The events that just occurred came back to me. The hard to describe ominous sensation I'd felt from him came back to
あい
me.
つは少しおかしいんですよ。お社様のたたりをめぐる一連の事件はみんな解決しているのに、 あいつだけがそれを認めていないんです。
Accept it. The incidents were all solved, and a detective supposedly with the police department didn't accept that.
あいつが近づく人間には必ず何かよからぬことが起こると言われています。ひなみざわではね、大石のことをお社様の
Oh, jeez. She bursted in there. The door flew open with a rattle, and Mion came rushing in. Rena and Rika-chan came running in a few steps behind her, and then Tomi-kun, Okamura-kun, and a few more of our classmates.
ケイちゃん、大石にやられたの？怪我を？
Yo, Mion about to throw hands.
落ち着いてミオンさん。怪我はありませんよ。念のため湿布をしているだけです。
ケイチ君、本当に大丈夫かな？みんなに聞いたら首を締め上げられてたとか言ってて。
A little
落ち着け
over-exaggerating,
よレ
but
ナ。
still
肩を
rough.
すげえ痛く握られただけだ。ほら、あざだってないだろ。
みー。
たく、
Had
あん
lots of conversation with that.
たら何やってんだよ。仲間だろ。なんでぼーっとしてたんだよ。なんでケイちゃんを助けなかったんだよ。
Yo, Mion is mad.
ごめんなさい、委員長。
Mion yelled at our classmates, baring her fangs. Tomi-kun and the others hung their heads in silence.
よせよミオン。富田君たちはその場にいなかったんだ。責めるのはよせ。
くしょう。大石のやつ。
Mion kicked the floor with her heel a few times, her temper running hot. Our teacher, overhearing the commotion, arrived as well.
こらこらこら、保健室で騒がしくしてはいけません。委員長、みんなを連れて保健室から出なさい。
ほらみんな、もう行こう。ケイチ君は大丈夫だって。ほら、みーちゃんも。
Mion was letting her emotions get the best of her, so Rena stepped in instead and led everyone out of the nurse's office. What true bro. The detective from Okinomiya Station, Kurado Ooishi. It looked like the first impression I'd gotten from him hadn't been mistaken. Sato's absence had amplified the vague apprehensions I'd felt since yesterday, and Oishi's appearance basically sealed the deal.
さて、じゃあ私はもともと千恵先生に用事があってきたんです。
あ、用事があって学校に来たんですよね。俺なんかのために。
Well,
どう
glad he
も
was
すみ
there.
ませんでした。
Right place, the right time for sure. Don't be so humble, he said, smiling easily.
おかげで役得と言いますか。前原くんのきめ細やかなお肌も存分に堪能できましたよ。
Of course, he's gotta ease the tension by being a creep. With the usual for Coach anyway. Parting words, he instead continued.
では、大した怪我ではありませんが、患部を揉んだりするようなことはくれぐれも避けてください。もしも高熱が出たり腫れたりするようなことがあったらすぐに連絡してくださいね。そんなことはないと思いますが。
あ、そうだ監督。さっきみんなが来る直前何か言ってましたよね。大石のことをお社様のなんとかって。
As he was about to leave the nurse's office, Coach placed a hand on the door and stopped.
ああ、お社様の使いですよ。
Interesting.
もちろん悪口ですがね。
お社様の使い？
前原さんはHinamizawaで毎年綿流しの夜に起こるHinamizawa村連続開始事件。
We know a little bit about him.
連続開
Just
始？
a couple.
え？
Now that I thought about it, I did seem to remember overhearing Mion or someone in class talking about like a ghost story. On the festival day in June, one person would always die, and another person would be spirited away, but they seemed to call it demoning away here. What a fine story that was. I figured they made it up to scare me, but it was true? Question
一
mark?
体どこの誰が言い出したのかもいつの頃からか大石のことをお社様の使いと呼ぶようになりました。
な
Just
ぜ
because
ですか？
he walks around just bringing
あ
misfortune
の男
everywhere?
がその年のたたりの犠牲者を決めていると噂されているからです。
Oh, interesting. Whenever June came around, Ooishi would start paying frequent visits to Hinamizawa.
亡くなったり消えたりする人たちの多くがあの男の執拗な訪問を受けているからです。
He is a detective. 4 years ago, it was known that the victim of the dismemberment, rumored to be the sacrifice, had been seeing Ooishi numerous times leading up to the incident. The sacrifices 3 years ago were Satako's parents. Right before their accidental deaths, Ooishi had apparently visited their home. Oh, interesting. The one who disappeared 2 years ago was Riki-chan's mother. And again, people know that before she vanished, Ooishi had been talking to her extremely frequently. The one who disappeared last year, Satako's older brother, Satoshi. Satoshi, too, had apparently been approached by Ooishi many times before he vanished. And then this time, Ooishi was trying to contact Satako.
冗談じゃないです。
噂ですよ、前原さん。そういう噂がある。
I hadn't said that because of the rumors of Ooishi being Oishiro-sama's servant, or his contacting someone foreshadowing who would be the sacrifice that year. It was because the ominous hatred I felt towards Ooishi was becoming more substantiated, more real.
サトコ、今日欠席したじゃないですか。
え？そうなんですか？
You just realized? That looked like news to Coach. I thought he might have known why Satako was absent today, but...
では失礼します。前原くんも早くみんなのところに行って安心させてあげるといいでしょう。
そうですね。そうします。
Clatter. Coach left the nurse's office and headed towards the teacher's lounge. Alright, so we unlocked 2 new tips. Let's check these out. Research notes and Ooishi's postman. Oh, okay, so just a couple notepads. The Hojo family. Every year, Oishiro-sama's curse claims 2 victims. This means that with 4 years in a row, there have been 8 now, but it's worthwhile to note half of them have been members of this family. True. Yeah, that's a lot. Note, the curse on the second year, a certain falling accident involved the death of Hojo, a dam proponent, and the disappearance of his wife. She was pronounced dead the following year after being considered to have vanished under perilous circumstances. The curse on the fourth year involved the death of the Hojo siblings' aunt, who was then their foster mother, and the disappearance of the elder brother. The Hojo family is a poor one, and it's hard to say Mr. Hojo's job went very well. Apparently, upon re-employment via family connections, there was a plan for them to return to the home of the mother's side of the family. For Mr. Hojo, the eviction due to the Hinamizawa Dam project and the payment of a large amount of compensation money was essentially a windfall. Mr. Hojo actively embraced the Ministry of Construction's negotiations from an early stage and was selected as representative of the dam proponents. It was rumored he had been bought out by the Ministry of Construction for doing so, but the truth is unknown. However, the dam's proponents were in the vastly outnumbered minority. In addition, as the Sanozaki family strengthened its own foundation and promised support against the dam, all of the proponents, save for Mr. Hojo, switched over to the anti-dam side. At this point, Hinamizawa was completely united against the dam, and Mr. Hojo was held up to ridicule as a stooge of the dam's project's proponents. He was essentially used as a scapegoat for the anti-dam coalition. In the end, the dam project collapsed with Oishiro-sama's curse and the dismemberment incident. However, punishment towards the bitter enemy supporting the dam project continues to this day. There are not many left today who supported the dam project, nor who had a negative reputation at the time. If there were any candidates left for the curse, it's the husband of the housewife who was beaten to death last year, Teppei Hojo, and Mr. Hojo's daughter, Satako Hojo. Strangely, these 2 are the only candidates left. Will this year's curse come down on the 2 of them? There's more than enough value in observing them both. So that's probably why Ooishi's trying to keep track of them then. To Ooishi-san. There was a call for you from Section 4's Chief Shigeharu. Apparently the slaughtered corpse in the Ojikawa River is related to the S group, as we thought. We're still verifying what happened behind the scenes, but apparently the deceased filled up dozens of self-created fictional bank accounts to their limits with money from the S group, reaching around 100 million. Dang, that's a lot of money. It appears there are 3 or 4 men with former S group connections involved in this. They've already disappeared along with millions of yen. The deceased was tortured on that point for information, and she was clearly slaughtered as an example to others. There are apparently some real wizards chasing down the people who disappeared. They're also spreading letters to related Yakuza groups not to harbor them. There's still no evidence that Teppei Hojo is one of those people. As far as Chief Shigeharu can tell, he hasn't been told anything. He was her pimp, but she didn't trust him at all, did she? Oof. I hate this guy so much. Teppei Hojo has left the apartment in Okinamiya and has returned to his former residence in Hinamizawa. Alright, well, another chapter down. Some, sadness abound for sure. But we'll see what happens. Thank you so much for watching. Always appreciate it. Always fun having you guys along on this, journey through this very fun and just wholesome story. It's been great. But look forward to the next part, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.